So what's your name? Tell me your name. We're at a book signing, everybody. Tell me your name.
We just finished at the Heritage Foundation. We're here at the City Club West. Now I'm signing the book for Tanisha Carson, who's been badgering me for the last couple of days. But she's a great human being, kind at heart.
Can you give the people the title of your book?
The book is the ABC of the UN General Assembly, Navigating Global Challenges in a Fragmented World. And I was really happy to share it at Robertson School of Government in this PhD cohort, and be able to have that healthy exchange of intellectual capital that is much needed at this time of uncertainty. And
is that what made you write the book?
I just happen to be bright, you know. Huge mind, this big, no. I felt that the cockpit view, an experience that I have accumulated over the years, needed to be shared with others, and have that acute analysis of international political happenings, and I wanted to project my own ideas there. But the most fundamental reason, since you're asking, and you need the real reason or the fancy reason?
No, the real reason. I want
the real reason is very much that the three basic steps that produce the 1945 consensus rule-based order, July 1944, the establishments of the titans of international finance, the World Bank and the IMF, Bretton Woods, as the war was going down. But in the midst of the war, they were already planning to establish the fundamentals of the emerging financial international system. July 1944. October, 1 year later. 44. 1944, that's the Bretton Woods. But then October 1945, the UN Charter signed in San Francisco. And then 6 months later, in a very cold morning in London, bone-chilling cold, delegates from 51 nations gathered together at a church, the Methodist Central Hall, to redefine the fundamental parameters of an international regulatory framework, and that was the first General Assembly. So we wanted to reconnect people with that lost fact, because the General Assembly started on January the 10th and then ended on February the 14th. So it's really between enacting the divine and then celebrating love, because the 14th of February is the celebration of Valentine's Day, which is, in symbolic terms, means that the UN was also meant to emulate love on earth, and so forth. That is why the tablet that commemorates the first assembly says, "To the glory of God and in prayer for peace on earth." This tablet commemorates the first meeting of the General Assembly of the United Nations in the Methodist Central Hall, Westminster, 10 January, February the 14th, 1946.
Okay.
But what is really critical for you to know is that in all these three fundamental steps, there was no black nations at the table. There was no black person at the table. So the consensus was actually constructed at the time where most of the black people were still living under the yoke of a repugnant system of colonialism, and which means that they did not have a seat at the table because they were probably on the menu. And the idea was basically to say that at this great moment of indeterminacy and fragmentation, we have basic gravitas, the intellectual capacity, the experience and the expertise to articulate a vision of our own that can be taken into account in the reformulation of the new emerging global consensus. So that's the fundamental reason. And now I'm going to sign the book because I've been signing too much. But this is like ultimate chance because after this, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to reach me, baby. You're going to be calling some secretary because I'm going famous, baby.
You already
Yeah, I'm
So
going
let me ask you
famous.
this.
Yeah, I've been
What if we
signing
do-
too many books.
What do we do a book report? Are you good with doing a Zoom?
Yeah, you can do a book report. Why not?
I'm saying, are you good with like doing a Zoom?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm good in public speaking scenario.
You are.
Yeah, I'm astute.
And you're so knowledgeable. Tell me how y'all brains